Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Olga is here. For those of you who haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell as well to get the latest notifications about the videos I post out there for you guys. And for those of you who are subscribed, thank you very much. You guys are making me more motivated to make more videos for you guys. So thank you very much. And in today's video, I am going to be reviewing Maybelline Midnight in the Park eyeshadow and face palette and some of the other pieces, I believe, from the same collection, Midnight in the Park. So these are the pieces that I have picked up at Walgreens. I was in my local Walgreens and this is what I picked up. Right here I have the Midnight in the Park eye and face palette. This palette retails for $19.99. Here it says that it costs $20. I honestly don't remember if I paid $20 or $19.99. I got the pricing for this palette off of Maybelline's website because I do believe that drugstores, pharmacies do run these things on sales, and I wanted to cross-reference with Maybelline's website, and that's where I got the $19.99. The shelf life of this palette is 24 months. This palette is made in Canada from domestic and imported ingredients. I was trying to calculate the weight of the eyeshadows, but it was kind of difficult, quite a bit challenging. Oh, by the way, this is what the palette itself looks like. The unicarton is really beautiful. I love the unicarton, I love the design. It's really hard to not notice this at the store. It's beautiful, that's what caught my eye. So this is what the palette looks like. There is no mirror in the palette, which is okay. I mean, I don't usually use these mirrors, but going back to the weight of the product, it was a bit difficult to calculate the weight of the product because the total weight is 10.5 grams. There are 12 eyeshadows in here, as you can see. They also call it a face palette, so there are 3 highlights right here. However, for me to calculate the separate grams, I would have to divide it by the square, and I couldn't because I really don't know how much is packed in these guys. Also, something else I know, some brands tend to have different weights. Even if the compartment or the pan look about the same, the shadows could be pressed differently, so I cannot really divide. Even if I tried to make a calculated guess, I wouldn't be able to guess correctly. So question for you guys, if you have that information, I would really appreciate if you share it with me in the comments down below. So let me know, and maybe you have found references where to find it. I looked on Maybelline's website also, and I couldn't find the information separately. Also, the palette does not have anything on the back, and as far as I could tell, it doesn't have that broken down information in the back of the unicarton. But that's all right. I mean, we have to work with what we got. I'm also going to talk about the other kit, and then I'll show you the swatches, and then we will do the look with these palettes. So the next thing that caught my eye in Walgreens, and again, beautiful packaging, I got this kit right here. Came with this little mascara, and this guy is called a Mary Minnie's Eyeshadow and Mascara Kit. I picked this one. I believe they had other kits with other shades, like the same packaging, of course. That's me being klutz. So I believe they had different ones. I just picked up this one because this one has the colors that I actually would see myself using, and I'm going to talk about that as well. So on this one, it was a bit trickier for me to find the pricing because when I looked at Walgreens website, because I don't have the receipt anymore, I tossed the receipt, so I couldn't cross-reference with my receipt. Another kit with the same eyeshadows, but that one was had different, like it had the red eyeshadow. That one retailed for $11.99. So again, I'm not positive that this is the price for this kit, but that seems close enough. If I find any other information on the pricing, I will definitely be sure to link that in the description down below. The next thing that I want to share with you is this product right here. Also seems to have that beautiful packaging. I believe all of this is kind of limited edition, although I did find this particular mascara on its own, and this one is called Lash Sensational Mascara. And again, I didn't find the exact packaged stuff. I found Lash Sensational Mascara in like a regular packaging, and that retails for $8.49. The one that I have right here has 9.5 milliliters of product. The other ones on the website for some reason are saying 10 milliliters, so I'm not sure about that, but I felt like it's important to share with you guys because it is a little bit different information than what I'm getting on this unit carton. And this one is in the color Blackest Black. So this mascara also comes in brownish color and regular black, but this one is Blackest Black. So I'm going to, of course, open this up, and isn't this gorgeous, guys? I mean, look at this packaging. You can totally put that on your Christmas tree. You can give it as a little gift. It seems so cute. I mean, I tell you this, it's not like I'm not excited about Maybelline, but I wasn't planning to buy Maybelline products of this caliber when I was shopping in Walgreens that particular night, and what caught my eye was definitely the packaging. So I have to say, this worked, okay? So this definitely worked. This kind of packaging is gorgeous, and I absolutely want to acknowledge that. Now, I have done the swatches, so I'm going to attach the swatches right now, and then we'll be right back, and I will show you what we can do with these palettes and try to create the look on my eyes. Now, I always swatch in my typical fashion, priming my arm with the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I swatch with the, I believe this was like $1 or $2, the e.l.f. brush. Every single eyeshadow, no matter what brand it is, it could be anything from high-end to anything to drugstore. I swatch with the same brush, and first you see the finger swatch, then you see the brush swatch, and this is how I swatch them. I also swatch the highlights of this palette in the same fashion, and I will be talking a little bit throughout the swatches. By the way, I would like to point out that this video is a bit longer than my other videos. That's because I am reviewing both palettes and doing the look using both of these palettes. Also, I have a new Yeti mic, so I am still figuring out the right settings on this mic, so I apologize if the sound is a bit unusual. In these overlays, I got this Yeti mic for Christmas. My hubby has gotten it for me, so thank you very much, hubby. And as you can see, we are doing the swatches of a big palette, and then we are going to do the swatches of that small palette. The transitional shades are always, no matter what palette I'm swatching, applying a bit on a faint side. With this particular palette, they seem to be pretty faint. First I am swatching the eyeshadows, and then I am swatching the highlighters in the same fashion as I was swatching the eyeshadows. When you are looking at the swatches, you see the finger swatch first, followed by the brush swatch, and as always I prime my arm with the Urban Decay Primer Potion when I do the swatches. If you were to ask me which swatches do I like best just by looking at them, I would tell you immediately that the little palette swatches that I have done look better. It seems like the colors are applying a bit better than the large palette. Also, I had to tape the little palette to my IKEA desk because it was so small. It was very hard to swatch it. It was going all over the place, so I had to use the tape to tape it. I have already done my base. I have applied the primer, the Laura Mercier foundation in N Vanilla 1, I believe, and of course I will attach the information of all of the products that I have used. I have set my face with Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder, and I have also applied Maybelline concealer under my eyes. That's what I have going on. I have the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette that I done with my contouring. The idea here is, guys, is that I need to be able to review this palette, and I want to review this palette and give you my final words and verdict. So the challenging situation here would be, how do we manage to apply from both palettes and create an eye look using both palettes? And this is what I thought of. So I'm going to use these colors right here in the middle, as well as this middle golden highlighter. First of all, it looks really, really beautiful, and these are my colors because these are warm toned nudes kind of colors, and I feel like they're really pulling me to themselves. They really speak to me. These colors right here are cool toned. I am not really gravitating towards them tonight. Not to say that they're not beautiful. I also know that this holographic type of highlighter, it doesn't really look that great on my particular skin. These golden highlighters look better on me personally. It's a personal opinion. I'm sure that this looks gorgeous on some other person. Now, these colors right here, when I was swatching them, they seem to be pretty light, and I don't want to create a look to then not approve the palette based on the fact that these colors just are not my colors. So I am going to play it safe, granted, but I am going to go into these warm colors right here. And the reason I chose them also is because we will have to also be using these colors right here. And what I was thinking, since this is like the same kind of theme, I will do my right eye with this palette, and my left eye I will do with this middle guide palette right here, and that way it will give me a fair amount of information in order to pass on my verdict, people. So this is what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to jump in and applying them. Oh, and I forgot to show you, this, besides the fact that it was coming in this beautiful holographic packaging, also came in this little tiny packaging. That was really, really cute, really nice unicarton. I will be going over with this Real Techniques brush, and I will apply the transition shade. But because most of these colors are shimmers and very few are matte, so I will actually have to go in with this transitional color right here, since this is a matte, and apply it to both of my eyelids, and that also will kind of give me a good amount of information how the eyeshadow applies. We are also going to be judging the palette on the fallout. So what I'm going to do is apply this color right here into the crease, because there is a similar color in that middle palette. And we want to try both of the palettes, but at the same time achieve similar eye looks, since this is going to be different. So I just want to see how different. Going with my trusted Wayne Goss number 4. I'm going to go into this color in this palette and do the same thing to the left eye, applying it with Wayne Goss number 4, going into my crease. I'm going to grab my trusted Wayne Goss number 5, same shadow we just went in, and I will apply this eyeshadow into the lower eyelid area right here. Going into this eyeshadow right there and applying into the lower lid. What I'm gonna do right now is I will use my trusted Too Faced glitter glue, and I will apply it into the mid portion of my eyelid. And why I'm doing this is because this is what I always do with any kind of glitter or metallic eyeshadows, just to prevent the fallout. And since this is how I treat all of my eyeshadows that have glitters and metallics and shimmers, I just feel it's fair to do the same thing for Maybelline and give it the same competing conditions for the verdict. And if you hear that rain outside, that's because my window is open and I'm dying of heat. Oh, very hot in here, very hot in here, guys. I don't know why. Okie dokie dokie. Flat belly brush Wayne Goss number 6, and I will dip it into this golden color right here, and I'm putting the color onto the belly of the brush, onto the belly. And I'm showing you what that means is that you applied it not so much to the end portion right here, but as you can see, this is kind of a belly of the brush, and this is how the color is applied. And right now I'm using tapping motions to tap the color into the eyelid where I put the Too Faced glitter glue. This is pretty good, honey baby doll. This is pretty good. I really like it. Also, another good practice, if you guys don't like applying glitter glue, you can wet the brush with a Fix Plus or any kind of other setting spray that you normally use, and then pack the color onto the brush and then pack it onto your eyelid, and immediately after that set your eyes with your Fix Plus or any other setting spray. That will prevent the creasing. Something else you can do is when you are applying the type of the eyeshadow that is glittery and all of that, especially this is a good advice for hooded eyes, you can do something like this, like raise your eyebrows ever so slightly so that this type of skin on your eyelid is kind of pulled and stretched, and tap, 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 going into a very similar color right here, and tapping it onto the same belly of the brush, and then applying that to the left eyelid. I'm noticing a bit more patchiness here, not so sure. It seems to me like the colors are very similar, like I can't confirm it, but I kind of feel like the formula is really similar because of how the colors look, how they behave, but I do see ever so slightly that this side right here is a bit more patchy, like the color didn't go on as smoothly as in this mini palette right there. So I just have to say I needed to throw it out there. Now, going back to the Wayne Goss number 4, going into this darker color right here at the bottom and applying this color ever so slightly into this corner. Using small circular motions, and also applying it starting with somewhere in the middle right here, and kind of taking it out, taking it out, taking it out. And of course, repeating the same process on the left eye, but this time, of course, going into this darker color right here, repeating the same process, applying it to the very corner, very much outer corner of the left eyelid, and again using small circular motions and dragging it out, dragging it out. Something happened and I ended up with this huge amount of fallout in this corner right here. So that tells me the formula isn't the same. Or maybe it's not pressed in the same way. I have gone off camera because I needed to fix that fallout that happened right here. So the left eye does look a little bit messy because I had to fix it with the concealer, which isn't really a good practice, but I needed to do something. Normally I put loose powder on the ends, but see, I did not follow my own rules, so I had to pay the consequences. I'm going to go in with this Maybelline Nude Flush number 10 liquid lip, and I will apply it onto my lips, and then we'll continue on with the eye look. I just need something on my lips. This is a pretty color, but this particular formula, I notice it's more like whipped formula, so it's not your standard runny, so to speak, thin consistency liquid lipstick. It's more like a whipped formula. So I'm just kind of throwing it out there. If you guys were looking at these or something and you're wondering what kind of formula it is, this is what it is. And it does seem to have a lot of perfume in it, because I can kind of feel like as if I applied some cologne or some kind of like Earl Grey tea. It smells to me like Earl Grey, I don't know. It's very overpowering, so just wanted to throw it out there. This product is not in a hot share today, we're not reviewing it, but I am using it, so just in case you guys are wondering, that's what it is. So going back to our palettes, I will go into this light shade right here and apply her as a brow bone highlight. Also applying this into the corner of my eye to brighten up the eye. This shadow right here, and apply this into the opposite eye. I'm doing it without the mirror. That's a challenge. That should be like a next video, right? Try to apply a winged eyeliner without the mirror. Ha 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 ha. Not gonna happen. Not on this channel. Okay, so obviously the colors are somewhat different because we are working with two palettes, not one, but that was the idea. So now that that's done, I think I have really applied a lot of that dark shadow right here, and I need the punch of that golden color on this middle portion of the eyelid. So I am going to break my own rule and go into this color right here in this palette, simply because when I had gone into the other one, it gave me a lot of fallout. Okay, so it's not completely fixed. It still looks like this eye is a little bit messy, but we're trying to test these, so that's okay. It's a part of the process. So we're going to be testing these two mascaras. This one will go onto the left eye and this one will go onto the right eye. So this is what we're going to do and see what happens. Right from the start, I want to tell you guys that this smells kind of nice. I mean, normally mascaras have this typical, you know, you see my hand? That's what I'm doing. Typical kind of, okay, smell that I can live with. But this actually smells nice. It kind of smells like honey, and I don't know, it's just nice. I can't explain it. I'm going to try to work with this wand. Okay, so first impressions are not that bad, actually. I was expecting worse. I'll be honest with you. I have my pretty strict standards when it comes to mascara. This isn't bad. Let me test the other one and I'll tell you what I think of this. Let's see how it smells. I don't like the smell. So it's this typical smell, you know, typical smell, which I learned to live with it, doesn't mean I like it, so I can live with it. And this is, let me just compare the applicators on these guys. Granted, this is a miniature size, but this is what the applicators look like. Let me just grab them like that. Okay, so I hope you can see, these are the applicators. And again, I just feel like the bigger they get, the more intimidating this is. I just feel like this is such a chore. Now, it is curved, so I'm hoping that's going to make it easier. I can tell you right now, I do not like it. It's not rocket science here, and granted, I'm not a pro at makeup, I'm not a makeup artist, but this is not rocket science and I'm having trouble. I'm struggling. It's lumpy. No, this isn't gonna work for me, guys. So right away I'm gonna tell you that let's just cut to the chase. Lash Sensational by Maybelline is not Olga Gaffey approved. I'm sorry, Maybelline, this is not working for me. When I pulled it out, it feels thick. I wonder if this is old, although I just recently got it at Walgreens, but who knows how long it's sat on a shelf, right? I don't know. Mascaras are typically good for 6 months, and this is what the shelf life of this mascara is. And also the shelf life of this mascara is 6 months. But when I pull out this one, excuse me, when I pull this one out, it doesn't, like that sound, you know, that you get when you pull out mascara, it feels fresh to me. This one is like, let me be inside of this compartment. I've been in here for a while, I'm not leaving my home. This is what mascara, this particular one, is communicating to me. So I am disapproving it, but maybe there is a benefit of a doubt that this is a bit old. I don't know. I still don't like the wand. No. So there. I said it. Okay, this mascara I am willing to approve. It actually applied nicely and the color is nice. I like it. I do. I really do. And I really like the smell. The smell is super duper nice. So this particular mascara is approved. Now, let's go ahead and talk about these palettes real quick. So this palette came together with this mascara. I actually like how the colors applied. There wasn't much fallout when I was working with the gold shimmery color, and I kind of liked it. Oh, I kind of liked it. So I would say this. The dark color applied nicely, it was easy to blend. The golden shimmery color right here didn't have much fallout, presumably if you go with a glitter glue or if you prep with a primer. So I would suggest always prime or always use some kind of a setting spray, glitter glue, some kind of system in order to make sure that you minimize the fallout. So that's what I want to throw out there. Also good brushes, it's essential. These brushes, you don't have to have them from Wayne Goss or Grey Morris or anything high-end. You can have e.l.f. brushes, you can have good affordable brushes. There are good brushes out there, but you need to have good brushes. This is like essential. This is super duper important, brushes. Or if you want to, metallic shades, if you don't have long nails, you can apply them with your finger. That will work too. So some people use that. In fact, there are some eyeshadows that specifically advertise that you apply them with the finger. So do keep that in mind as well. I want to say that I will be approving this particular set right here. So this Mini Mary set by Maybelline with mascara is approved. And let's go ahead and talk about this one. Oh, by the way, I forgot to apply the highlighter. So before I can say anything, going in with Wayne Goss number 10 and applying the highlight and see what happens. Okay, so I'm not that impressed. I mean, it's a pretty highlighter, but it's nothing that I haven't seen before, and honestly, I wasn't saying wow, you know, so it's okay. It's an okay highlighter. I'm going to go ahead and not approve this palette, and I will explain why. When I was working with these eyeshadows, granted I wasn't working with these guys right here, but I have swatched them, so I have a pretty good idea how they will perform. These particular eyeshadows shouldn't be that hard to necessarily make in terms of the pigment. These are very common warm shadows that you can come across in many different palettes and brands. But this particular dark brown right here, it was not blending well for me. I felt like I took a little, but yet I made this huge mess, and then I looked down and I had this huge amount of fallout, and we all saw that. Also, this particular golden shadow right here had a huge amount of fallout. Even though I applied glitter glue, I primed my eyes and everything, it gave me a lot of trouble. Before I was applying these eyeshadows, I was gonna think that they had identical formulas, but at this point it's not confirmed. I don't know that. I don't know if the formulas are the same. I didn't compare each ingredient to another ingredient. I really did not do that, so I do apologize for it. But even if somebody told me the formulas are the same, I would say something is different. There's got to be something different. Maybe these eyeshadows are pressed differently. The bottom line is this will give trouble. It seems like there's a lot of fallout, and it seems like the golden metallic shades are not really giving you that punch that you are looking for. Especially when we were working with this one, golden shade right here, did seem to be more intense. So with all of that said, guys, I would have to say that this Midnight in the Park Eye and Face palette by Maybelline is not Olga Gaffey approved, and that's the final. So these are my words and verdict, guys. Please let me know in the comment section down below if you have any particular product that you would like me to review. I do like other Maybelline products. Just because I disapprove something in the brand doesn't mean that I don't like the brand. I definitely respect Maybelline brand. They absolutely have wonderful other products. In fact, I use them, I like them. So there could be hits and misses in any given brand. It doesn't have to be a bad brand just because I disapproved a certain product. So keep that in mind. It's also opinion based. So just because the palette doesn't work for me doesn't mean that it won't work for somebody else. Maybe you love this palette. I do respect that, but here on this channel I'm just expressing my opinion and how my experiences with the palette. Now, also in terms of the cost, I mean, these are fairly reasonable palettes. The other thing is, I tell you this, if you feel like you really are considering to purchase this, but you already have a couple of these palettes, I feel like you could be okay with these palettes because they are small, fit nicely into the purse, easy to travel with, so travel size friendly. Also in the kits that I was talking about, this one is a set. You get this travel size mascara, which is kind of nice. Having large sizes, that's not really convenient, especially if you travel. And also, mascaras do tend to dry up and go bad, so do save your coins on these things and buy travel size mascaras. So, and again, money wise, these are affordable. If you want to experiment, it's not such a huge loss, I mean 20 bucks, but if you want to be frugal, go ahead and get the small ones and enjoy those. These guys seem to be a better quality. Now, I cannot speak for every other mini palette out there by Maybelline because I haven't tried every single other one. There is other colors, as I have learned by looking at the website today, but this particular one really works nicely for me. With all of that said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. If you're new to the channel, you're welcome, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed making the video for you guys. I wish everybody Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, whatever they may be. I know that throughout the world, we all are celebrating something during this season of the year. Could be any number of holidays, so I wish to all of you all of the happy holidays and wonderful Happy New Year, and I will see you all in my next video, guys. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I see you soon. I love you. Bye.